What's up, guys? Cody here, back with Don and the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast, coming at you today with weekly episode number 5. Some interesting topics in today. Canadian teams making the Stanley Cup, some European soccer news, and
more.
What do you got on the docket? More, so we'll see you in there. All right, so welcome back, guys. Don's going to start us off here with topic number 1. What do we got here, Don?
Well, we're coming up on CFL season. It actually starts Thursday. And I know that there's not a lot of people in the States who are aware of how the game's played.
Yeah, for those that don't know, CFL stands for...
Canadian Football League.
There we go.
So what I would like to talk about, just one point, is the CFL overtime rules. Do you know what they are?
I know they're different than the NFL, but off the top of my head, I don't think I can recite them for you.
All right, if it's regular season, if the game is tied, each team starts at the other team's 35. They need to score a touchdown. You can't kick a field goal.
Okay, so you got to get in the end zone.
If you score a touchdown, you have to go for a 2-point convert. Each team gets to do this twice. So if one team scores and the other one doesn't, they still get to go. Each team gets twice. If it's tied after that, it's a tie game. But if it's in the playoffs, they go till somebody wins. You can have 10, 12 going back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yes. No one's kicking field goals because, let's just say Team A doesn't score a touchdown. Well, Team B now can't come on and kick a field goal from the 35. It's unfair. They now have to try for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
Team A misses or doesn't score, but Team B does score. Team A gets another chance.
Yes, one more chance.
And it's over, obviously, if they miss their chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if they score, then the other team gets one more chance to beat them. And if it's tied after that, it's tied. So no extra points, no field goals, just pure excitement. Like, I've seen some overtime games. They're crazy.
CFL games in general are just crazy. Like, you'll see, like, big comebacks with not a lot of time left on the clock. Like, the way they move the downs and stuff. It's interesting stuff, so.
We're done. Next topic.
All right, so for us Canadians, we have a team to cheer for this year in the Stanley Cup. Last time to do that was 2021, which is more recently than we thought it was.
A lot more recently. I thought it was back in the 90s.
There's been actually a few teams that have made the Stanley Cup since the 90s, or made it to the Stanley Cup but not won. But Edmonton Oilers will be facing off against the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers are there back-to-back. The last time the Oilers were in the Stanley Cup Finals was 2006, I think.
I thought
6
it was
or 7.
I thought it was 16 or 18.
No.
Doesn't matter.
I
know Ottawa was in 2011.
Yeah, they didn't. Ottawa's never won a Stanley Cup. But the last time, so
won the Stanley Cup.
Quick stats here for you. The last time Edmonton won the Stanley Cup was 1990. Last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup was 1993. It's Montreal Canadiens. Who were also the most recent team to be in the Stanley Cup Finals. That was 2021.
And we hate Montreal.
That was... So when Edmonton won last time in 1990, you know that was the 5th Stanley Cup they had and they won in 7 years?
All Gretzky.
Crazy. I didn't know that. Gretzky. What a freaking dynasty that was.
Yeah, they were absolute... And before that, it was the Islanders who took 4 or 5 straight.
Yeah. I had no idea about those dynasties. So I know about all the basketball, but I didn't realize that Edmonton won 5 and 7. That's crazy. And so that brings me to my next point here. The Edmonton has some sort of horseshoe up the you-know-what, because for them to have they potentially could have 2 of the best players of all time have been on their team. Did they draft Gretzky?
Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy stuff. Also want to do shout out Stuart Skinner. Incredible bounce back series in the 3rd round after completely crapping the bed in the 2nd round. Credit goes where credit's deserved. Let's go Stuart Skinner.
That'll be on the next video. Okay, topic number 3. WWE. Shame.
More shame.
Okay,
we have is shame for WWE.
So at this, and I'm saying WWE because they own NXT. So the upcoming NXT Battleground pay-per-view, which is this weekend, for the Women's Championship, it is going to be Roxanne Perez, you know what I'm talking about, against Jordan Grace. Did you know who Jordan Grace is?
I have no idea who that is.
She is the TNA Knockout Champion. And in fact, she was on NXT last Tuesday, which would be the 26th, 28th. TNA didn't even know she was there.
Oh.
And Raw is trying to sign her. And I'm going, there's got to be some rule, like, you didn't even contact the organization who she's under contract to, and you're having her fight for a championship match. I had to catch myself there, get a little worked up. That's terrible.
Yeah,
like
WWE would never let that happen.
They are the biggest wrestling sanction in the world, and they have to go around stealing from low-life leagues like that. You know what? Screw you. Screw the whole pack of you. You know what? I'm just getting sick and tired. I watched Raw last night. What a piece of shit that was. Okay, and now you're poaching. Way to go. Now you're poaching.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope you guys land on your ass and keep on putting out these bullshit pay-per-views or PLEs, and people stop watching. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous and shameful. I'm done.
All right. Wow, these segues are just perfect today. Speaking of the rich attempting to get richer, big news in European soccer this past week. So as for those that you don't know, Real Madrid beat Borussia Dortmund last week in the Champions League final. So that's their sixth championship, UEFA Champions League final win in the last 10 years. They have just completely dominated European soccer. Their team looks stacked from top to bottom. They've got young guys. They've got veterans that are on the way out. They're still producing, you know, those in those tough moments. And then they've got the guys in their prime that are just absolutely killing it right now. And then to speak of last guys in their prime, they just signed French superstar Kylian Mbappe to Newcastle. Him and Prince Nana.
Prince Nana, I love that guy.
So they are looking like a force to be reckoned with next year. They just find Champions League soccer with them is they just find a way to win. Like you'll be watching a tie. I think they were playing Bayern Munich. They were down, came back and won it. They just find a way to do it. And with one of the best players in the league, next year is going to be scary. Jude Bellingham's playing amazing. Vinicius Jr. Some crazy stuff. So European soccer is just it's owned by the rich and it's tough, right?
Now, okay, so are you technically saying that they're buying another championship?
Well, you know what the interesting was? Their contract was up. They signed him for $0, so they'll be paying him big money, but they didn't pay a lot to get him.
Yeah, okay.
So they'll sign him to the big money, but they can afford to pay him, and they have the prestige and the honor there too. So players want to go there. It's one of those. It's like playing in Miami for sports down here, right? Like people want to go there because of the nice weather. So we'll see what's going to happen next year. Euros are coming up as well. He'll be playing there. So
okay, what's our last topic going to be?
Did you see what happened with Caitlin? Did you follow any of the WNBA this past weekend?
I watched the first game she played in. I watched part of it. Yeah.
So there was a game this past week. So there's been a lot of resentment from a lot of the WNBA players. Man, I can't speak this morning. About like all the attention she's getting and stuff like that, and it's a lot of jealousy and pettiness. But so this weekend, this one girl. Kennedy Carter, spelled with a CH. I don't know how that works, but they were playing the Chicago Sky in an afternoon game, and off the ball, like completely nowhere near the play, this girl comes in and just like hip checks Caitlin Clark right to the ground, like dirty play. I guess Caitlin Clark had maybe hit her with a loose elbow or something earlier in the game, but it just looked horrible, and the player doubled down on her actions and was trying to play the victim, and it's just this whole thing with Caitlin Clark is it's crazy because these players, like, they're now getting charter flights, they're getting so much more exposure, and it's like they don't know what to do with it because people are actually talking about the WNBA and they're mad about it. I've heard some people say, oh, well, where were you 5 years ago? Well, no one cared about you 5 years ago, so what do you mean?
No. Where were you 5 years ago? Only putting out garbage.
Yeah, the only reason that your names are being talked about is not just because of her, but Caitlin Clark is a big reason that a lot of the mainstream people are switching over and watching basketball. And to see the treatment of her is getting a little bit disappointing. So
I will say this quickly. There was a story that I heard that there was an outrage about all the attention that she was getting. And they were saying she wouldn't be getting this much attention if she was a black girl. Are you freaking kidding me?
To bring race into it too is just getting a little bit
they're out of time.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but
it's terrible.
We'll see what's gonna happen next. But yeah, so wow, another weekly podcast in the books. We were gonna have a special guest on this week, but he wasn't able to make it. So hopefully next week, depending on work schedules, be able to get him in here and get some fresh face. I know you guys are probably getting tired of looking at us every day. So I mean, well. Dawn, but not me. But
I'm getting tired of looking at you.
So look forward to that. We'll keep you guys updated. We've got a couple more videos coming out this week. The NBA finals and the NHL finals are both starting on Thursday and Saturday, respectively. We've also got the CF
starting on Thursday.
Basketball.
So it's on Thursday?
Yep.
That was on an 8-day break.
Yeah. The last game was it would have been, but Dallas won. If Dallas had won in the fourth game, then it would have been 8 days.
That
but because Dallas,
was the argument we were having outside the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm going, it's absolutely ridiculous to have 8 days off.
I think it was 6 days. I think it was 6 or 7.
Which is what hockey's doing, which is reasonable.
Yeah. So they'll be playing this week. So we got a little preview for that. We'll recap our last round, see who fared well in the in our little predictions, and we've also got a big CFL video coming this week. We're doing a big pool. We're excited for it. We do it every year for the NFL. So this year we're like, you know what? Let's get into CFL. We might try and catch a game, but you can catch a reel for that maybe later down the road. So thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to us if you want to see some more of our videos. Turn on those notifications. We've got 3 or 4 videos coming out every week. We're just going to keep getting more and more, getting better and better. So thanks again for watching.
See ya.
See you next time.